Hi, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are, the time zone, and then the time you're actually watching this live stream. My name is Mike Meadows, and if today is the first time, I'm doing a series on a lot of seed time and harvest time, a lot of seed and harvest time. So today is actually episode 6. Yeah, if you haven't watched from episode 1, I think you should watch that. It's something like a build on. So you watch episode 1, you watch episode 2, you watch episode 3, you watch episode 4, you watch episode 5, and then if you're stumbling on, if you just stumbled on this live stream, no problem. You can watch them after the live stream. Okay, that is no problem. So I'm a fitness trainer. I was born and raised in Ghana, but I live in the UAE at the moment. So in July, I did a 30 days 200 push-ups. If you want to build muscles, you can watch that playlist as well and start a challenge yourself on your own with a live stream. So you can start doing 200 push-ups. You can start doing 10 push-ups, 50 push-ups for 30 days. Just watch my videos and then train with it. All right. So today we're talking about the seed of fear. Yesterday we spoke about negative thinking. The fact that negative thinking is a seed. If you missed yesterday's live stream, I think you should go and then watch yesterday's live stream. It is going to really bless you. It is gonna be of help to you. Yeah. So today we are talking about fear, and I'm really excited. I'm gonna try my possible best to pour my heart out. Everything I've got. I'm going to tell you guys everything I've got in this episode. So what I want you to do is to like the live, share, comment, and then stay with me, please. Yeah. So episode 6, the seed of fear. So when fear is planted, watered, and then allowed to grow. Okay. So fear may begin as a whisper. Let me talk about the whole concept of fear, and then we're gonna talk about a lot of things. We're gonna talk about fear not being the enemy always. We're gonna talk about nah, bro, how you doing? We're gonna talk about fear becoming dangerous when it starts making decisions for you. Where are you watching me from, bro? Doddy Project. I hope you are doing great. We're gonna talk about fear growing through your imaginations. We're going to talk about fear, loss, or uncertainty. We're going to talk about fear, the fact that fear can keep you in your comfort zone if you stay on this live stream. These are the things we're going to talk about: the fear of failure, the people that are afraid of failure, the fear of rejection. We're going to talk about all of this stuff. The fear of judgment. What will people say? Are people going to judge me? What to hell? To hell with what people are thinking. If you stay on this live stream, bro, you're going to learn a lot. So yeah. So let's get into it. Dodi, where are you watching me from? Dodi 98 Project. Where are you watching me from? I want to know where you guys are watching me from. So fear may begin as a whisper, okay? But if you keep on feeding it, if you keep on feeding that fear, it can become the loudest voice in your life. At first, it will be a whisper. It will be something, hi, Eldon Cost, how are you doing? Anywhere you are watching me from, anywhere you guys are watching me from, where are you actually watching this live stream from? So fear does not always stop you by saying you cannot. Sometimes it is going to convince you to wait until you never begin. So there are people who their problem is that they can't do it, but fear is going to make them wait until they never do it, until they will never go on live, until they will never start a business, until they will never do that training, until they will never learn that language. I told you guys I was going to introduce myself in Chinese because I've started learning Chinese. Yeah, ni hao. Hey, bro. Jiao Mike Meadows. What I just said is that hello, my name is Mike Meadows. Okay. Tomorrow I'm gonna add a little more. Yeah, today is just introduction to my Chinese accents, but yeah, just stick with me, all right? You guys should pardon me. So fear does not always stop you by telling you that you cannot. There are people who have the courage, they know that they can do this. But for them to even start it, it is a problem. For them to even sit their ass down and then create content, it is a problem. For them to sit down and read their books, it is a problem. Because what fear, another school that fear has is that it is going to make you wait until you never do what you want to do, until you never start that business, until you never make that sales, until that dream becomes a dream forever. You only see it in your sleep. It will never become a reality. That is what fear is gonna do to you. So, like I said earlier, fear is one of the most powerful emotions we experience. If it can protect you, it can warn you. Fear can make you cautious. Okay, fear can keep you away from unnecessary danger. There's somebody that wanted to jump from a cliff and he was afraid. Fear saved the person's life. But hi, what's good, bro? Gabriel, how you doing? Where are you guys watching me from? Where are you watching me from? So fear can make you cautious. Fear can make you cautious. Michael Jackson, I hope you're okay. I hope everything is okay with you. Cause I think you need help, bro. So it can make you cautious. It can keep you away from unnecessary danger. Fear is going to keep you away from unnecessary danger. Fear can also become a prison. The fact that fear can keep you, it can stop you from the fact that it can stop you from dying early. It can also keep you in a prison. You are not going to attempt anything big. You are not going to attempt anything great for your life if you are afraid, if you are battling the seed of fear. If you have the seed of fear in you, you are not going to attempt anything. So you would have people like this guy that will come and then be talking trash because you're afraid. But bro, I'm ready for I'm ready for all your bullshit, man. I'm ready for all your bullshit. So fear can also become a prison. And like everything else that we've discussed in this series, fear can begin as a seed. A thought is going to enter your mind. What if I fail? What if I fail? That is what it's going to start with. Then another, what if they laugh at me? What if people troll? Bro, I don't mind being laughed at. I don't mind, bro. If you are willing to look stupid in front of people for a very long time, if you are willing to become, it was Alex Homozy that said that. If you are willing to become a beginner, if you are willing to become somebody who knows nothing, to become dumb for a very long time, if you are willing to learn from people for a very long time, then it means you are ready to elevate your life. You are ready for change. You are ready to to actually achieve what you want to achieve. But if you're afraid that people are gonna say stuff, if you're afraid that people are gonna laugh at you, somebody's gonna come on your life and talk shit, bro, then nothing is going to happen to your life. Your life is going to remain the same. There's always somebody spreading negativity. That person's life is a mess and they're just bullshitting. Um my phone somebody was calling, yeah, I got interrupted. Yeah, there was a little interruption. Sorry. So, what if I lose everything? It is gonna start first. What if I fail? And then second, what if they laugh at me? That is how it's gonna start. And then what if I lose everything? What if I'm not good enough? What do you mean? What if you are not good enough? Go prepare and then go and do what you want to do. Prepare, learn about the business, and then start. Learn about whatever you want to venture, and then start doing it. Start doing it, regardless of what people are gonna say. maybe I shouldn't even try. These are the voices of fear. These are the thoughts that will keep on coming into your head. So the seed has been planted. You think about it repeatedly. You're going to think about it. You're going to imagine the worst possible outcome. You're going to talk yourself out of possibilities. Bro, whatever thing that I want to achieve, I ask myself, what is the worst that is going to happen? What is the worst that is going to happen? These people can't kill me. When I come online, what is the worst that is going to happen? Only one person is going to listen. Nobody's going to listen. What is the worst that is going to happen? Nothing is going to happen. The seed of fear will let you not even try. It will let you not even give yourself a chance. What if what you are doing is actually preparing you for something bigger? What is the worst that is going to happen? You are going to talk yourself out of opportunities. You are going to count yourself out that you can't even grab $1 million. You can't hold this. You can't do nothing for yourself. That is fear. That is the seed of fear speaking to you. That is fear speaking to you. That is a thought of fear. So you would avoid uncomfortable situations. That is fear. You are going to stay where you are comfortable. Fear will make you become comfortable. But sometimes comfortability is a trap. Sometimes the way you are being too comfortable, it is not going to make room for you to explore, for you to do more, for you to go harder, for you to push more, for you to push to the extreme, for you to push to the max, because you are comfortable. Everything is all right. You don't. There's no urge. There's no desire. There's nothing pushing you. That is fear. Sometimes you tell yourself you are just being careful, but for all you know, that is fear speaking to you. You are not being careful. You are actually afraid. You are actually afraid. I remember when when I started driving, bro. I picked that. I had to drive my mother, and she was afraid. What she will be thinking is that she's trying to be careful. She's trying to protect her last male child. But she doesn't know that is fear speaking to her, because I've been driving for a long time, and I've been on a highway, on a Tema motorway. If you're born and raised in Ghana, you know one of the riskiest roads is the Tema motorway. I've driven on that road for so long, for God knows how long, before bringing her into my passenger seat, and then she's afraid. That is the seed of fear. Sorry, that is the seed of fear. So you tell yourself that you are being careful, but underneath it all is fear growing. That is fear that is growing. Eventually, you don't need anyone to stop you. You are going to stop yourself. I don't want you to get to the point where you are the one stopping yourself. No. At least let somebody stop you. At least let somebody, try to mock you, try to talk you out. But if you are stopping yourself, then there is a big problem, bro. If you are the one stopping your life, if you are the one putting, the limit, you have limiting beliefs, then there is a big problem. There is a very big problem. That is the dangers of the seed of fear. So let's get into it. Fear is not always the enemy. I want us to understand something first, that fear itself is not evil. It's a natural human response. Okay, fear is not evil. It can alert you to danger. It is something natural. Everybody is going to experience it once upon a time. Everybody is going to experience fear once upon a time. Why do I keep on mentioning fear? It can alert you to danger. Fear, if you're walking down a dark street and then you sense something that isn't right, fear may tell you to pay attention. If you're about to make a reckless decision, fear is going to create a necessary pause. Fear is necessary. Sometimes fear is not always the enemy. Fear can protect your life. The problem begins when fear moves from being a warning system to becoming your decision-making system. It's supposed to warn you, not to decide for you. It's supposed to make you practice the pause. I talked about practicing the pause in Emotional Intelligence series. You can go and watch it. Fear is going to make you practice the pause. You are going to pause, relax for a while, and then make your decision. Think through and then make your decision. But the problem, what is going to harm you, is when fear becomes your decision making system. When fear controls your decision making, then bro, you are never going to make any right decision. You are never going to take any better decision, because whatever that is engineering that decision is fear. It's coming from fear. And anything that fear does, bro, fear is not going to attempt anything big. Fear is not going to try anything big, anything major. No. So there's a difference between be careful and don't do anything. There's a difference. There's a big difference between be careful. What fear should be telling you, what fear should be treating you, is that it should be giving you a warning, not being in charge of your decision making, not telling you not to do anything. Be careful and do not do anything. They are two different things. One is going to create awareness, the other is going to create paralysis. Bro, are you in for the awareness from fear, or you want the paralysis? You want fear to paralyze all your dreams. You want fear to kill all your dreams. You want fear to kill all your aspirations. You want fear to kill everything that you want to achieve in life. Yeah, please like the live, please share, please comment. I want to know what you guys think about what I'm talking about. So fear becomes dangerous when it starts making decisions. So you need to ask yourself, how many things have you avoided because you are afraid? How many things have you avoided because you were afraid? How many opportunities did you reject because you were afraid of giving yourself another chance? Bro, I am not afraid of anything. I am not afraid of anybody. Bro, I don't care that opportunity. I believe I've set my mind that if I am able to put my mind to it, if I'm able to focus, if I'm able to give more hours than whatever that I want to achieve, it is achievable. That is not fear talking. That is not fear talking. You need to ask yourself, how many things have you avoided because you are afraid? How many things have you rejected? How many opportunities have you rejected because you never wanted to give yourself a chance? How many conversations did you avoid? You are afraid that this conversation is going to lead to something else. But bro, don't be afraid. Just have the conversation. Just be emotionally intelligent and then have your conversation. Don't talk anyhow. Don't talk anyhow. How many dreams did you postpone? Bro, on the 1st of January, you wrote a lot of things on a book, or in a book, on a sheet. You have them on your iPad, you have them on your phone, your documents. You have a lot of dreams, but how many dreams have you postponed because of fear? I wish you would stick to the end of the live stream. How many dreams have you postponed because of fear? How many ideas have you kept private? Bro, it is time to launch deep. It is time to launch that multi-million-dollar business. If you don't know, that business that you have in mind is going to make you rich. I was talking to a little girl. She's starting a facial, carrot oil stuff. And bro, this is an 18-year-old lady. And she was able to have this idea. I'm trying to speak to her, but I don't see any seriousness. There's actually, all I see is fear. Fear is going to make you postpone. She's always giving excuses that I have exams, I have this. Bro, when you finish school, you realize that there are no jobs in Ghana when you finish school. So when you are abandoning your dreams, you are abandoning that which is going to make your life better after school. For the school that's okay, it's gonna help you increase your thinking and all that. But bro, I know people who have completed the University of Ghana and there's no jobs. There are no jobs, bro. How many ideas did you keep private? How many times did you tell yourself maybe someday? Fear doesn't always make you run away. It is going to make you delay. Sometimes fear will make you delay that dream. It will make you delay that process. It will make you delay without any tangible excuse, without any tangible reason. Sometimes fear is going to make you delay. And delay can become a very sophisticated form of avoidance. Sometimes delay will become sophisticated. It is going to become a sophisticated form of avoidance. Fear doesn't always destroy dreams dramatically. Sometimes it is going to starve them through delay. Fear will starve your dreams, and after a while, they will no longer exist anymore. They will no longer be in existence anymore. They will what the purpose of fear is that it is going to starve your dreams until they are no longer visible, until you can't even think about that dream again. You wanted to become a footballer, you used to go for training, you used to jog, but bro, fear is starving that dreams. It will starve them through delay. So let's talk about the first seed, that is often what if. People, what if, bro? The phrase what if can become very powerful. It is very powerful. What if I fail? That's this phrase. What if? What if they reject me? What if people laugh at me? What if it doesn't work out? What if I embarrass myself? Bro, go and embarrass yourself. You would become strong emotionally. Nothing is gonna get to you again. It's true. It is what it is, bro. Go and fail. What if I lose people? What if I lose money when I'm trying to start this business? Go and lose the money. You would actually have wisdom. Next time you are going to do better. What if everything goes wrong? What if? That phrase, what if, is a very powerful phrase, and the problem isn't asking questions. The problem is allowing your mind to explore only negative possibilities. There is also another what if. What if it works out? Why don't you ask yourself those questions? Why doesn't those questions pop up in your brains? What if I learn? What if I improve? What if this works out? What if this YouTube I hit a million subscribers? What if? What if I discover something I didn't know about myself? Bro, hi Katie, how you doing? I hope you are enjoying your live stream. I hope you are doing great. What if this opportunity changes your life forever? What if this is your pathway to prosperity? What if poverty is eradicated from your life forever? What if? There is courage is going to ask, fear is going to ask you what could go wrong, but courage is going to ask you what could become possible. So I don't focus on the negative what ifs. I focus on the positive what ifs. I told myself that I was gonna do forex trading, bro. In in 3 days, I lost half of my salary to forex trading. What if? So what if I tried again with the remaining balance of the salary? For I won't even be on live. I'll probably be chilling in my Mercedes Benz. Yeah, bro. What can go right? What if it actually works out? But people only focus on the negative what ifs, the negative phrases, the negativity. Fear is going to grow through your imagination. You're always imagining negativity. You're always imagining, bro, what you should be imagining is yourself living your best life. That is what you should be imagining. One of the strange things about fear is that you can experience this consequence before anything has actually happened. You're going to imagine rejection. First, you're going to feel rejected. You're going to imagine failure. And then you'll feel defeated. Whatever you imagine has the possibility of happening. It has the possibility of coming to pass. So why don't you imagine success? Why don't you imagine yourself being a CEO? Why don't you imagine great things? You are imagining embarrassment. You are imagining that you'll be embarrassed, bro. That is what you are going to feel. You are going to feel ashamed. Don't imagine that you are losing, bro. There's nothing to lose. There are no losses. There are only lessons. That is how I live my life. There are no losses to me, bro. What I learn is there are always lessons. I'm always learning something new. There's nothing like a loss, bro. Onto a go-getter. There's nothing like a loss to a guy, to somebody who has who has developed his brains, there's nothing like a loss. So you experience the emotional pain of losing before you've even entered the competition. Why are you afraid that you're going to lose the race? Stormy, why are you afraid? Why are you afraid? I'll start calling you people out. Why are you afraid? The race hasn't even started, but you're afraid that you're going to lose. We haven't started the Premier League yet, but you're afraid that you'll go on relegation. Why are you afraid? Your mind is going to create entire stories about events that haven't even happened. Yes, it is natural. Your mind is going to create, but you can also shift that. You can shift your mind to create positive stories. What if you start thinking? What if you start imagining yourself winning a race even before you win it? Do you know how that is going to feel? Have you had that feeling before? I'm already imagining my my YouTube story, documenting my YouTube story that started in one room and then one park, and now, bro, I'm inspiring a whole lot of people. You should imagine the positive aspects also, not just the negativity, not just the fears, not just the failures. And sometimes you end up responding to emotionally to a future that only exists in your imagination. That's why you must learn to distinguish between possibility and probability. Something being possible doesn't mean that it is likely. Okay? There is a difference between possibility and probability. Let me break it down for you guys. So there are people that feel that it is not possible for them to even become great. Bro, you think this is weird, but somebody has that thought. It is very wrong. Those kind of people need a complete overhaul. I've been talking about this for a long time. I don't know. I need to keep on spreading the word. I need to keep on preaching this message. Somebody is even thinking that their life is going to amount to nothing. Their year is wasted. Meanwhile, we are in August. We've not ended the year. We have 3 more months. Do you know what can happen to your life in 90 days? Somebody has just written himself off that it is never possible. The year has ended. 2026 was a bad year, bro. You only need 90 days to change your life. You only need 90 days. Do you know what 90 days can do to you? Do you know what working out for 90 days? Do you know how you can get in shape? You have no idea. So let's go. Stay with me, guys. Stay with me. So fear is something that loves uncertainty. Fear loves uncertainty so much. Fear loves uncertainty so much. We naturally want to know what is going to happen next. But life doesn't give us that luxury, bro. You don't know exactly what tomorrow holds. You don't know. You have no idea. I didn't know that my video is gonna hit 6K. Now we are at 6.2K, 6.2 thousand. Just a short video that I created in some small crib. It's in my yard. Short video. But there were times that I didn't even want to post it. I didn't even want to react to no videos no more. Today I'm reacting to 6 videos. Because tomorrow is a holiday, so I won't come on live. But bro, if you don't know what exactly tomorrow holds, you don't know how every conversation is going to end, you have no idea that contract can be signed, it can be approved, that proposition. You have no idea. You don't know whether every business idea is going to work. You don't know whether this relationship is going to lead to marriage. You don't know because the first guy broke your heart, so you think this one is not going to work. Bro, what if this lady is genuine? What if this relationship is going to lead to marriage? You don't know whether the relationship is going to last. You have no idea. You don't know whether this opportunity is going to succeed. It's going to be a success. And because uncertainty makes people uncomfortable, the mind sometimes fills empty space with the worst possible scenario. It is going to fill it with the worst possible scenario. It is your responsibility to change that worst possible scenario into something beautiful, something worth imagining. But uncertainty is not automatic danger. Sometimes uncertainty simply means that you don't know yet, and that's okay. You don't know yet. You don't know what your dreams, what your capabilities can take you. You don't know yet. Ronaldo, in his teens, in his teenage years, he was sweeping on the streets of Lisbon, of Portugal. He was sweeping. You don't know. And then 20 years later, 25 years later, Ronaldo is one of the greatest of all times footballers. He's one of the GOATs. No, actually, the GOAT. Messi is the GOAT. But I love Ronaldo's life. It's an inspiration, bro. Yeah, that was just by the way. Bro, 25 years later, Ronaldo has a car collection that his child can even get missing in one of his cars. He can't even find where the kid is. That is Ronaldo's story. You don't know what is going to happen in the next decade. You don't know how far this deal can take you. You don't know. You have no idea what this YouTube is going to do to your life. You have no idea, and that's okay. That is okay. Fear is going to keep you in a comfort zone. Sometimes fear can keep you in a comfort zone, bro. People are afraid of failure. Let's talk about the fear of failure. It's the most common forms of fear. One of the most common forms of fear. People don't start because they are afraid they might fail. And so what? And so what? People don't know that some failure is not always the opposite of success. The opposite of success is not always failure. Sometimes failure is part of the education required to eventually succeed. Sometimes failure is part of the success. I was listening to Alex Hormozi and he said, if you know the amount of times that you have to fail to eventually succeed, you would be willing to fail more. So if you're supposed to fail 20 times and then succeed on the 21st attempt, bro, you'll be happy to failure number 1, failure number 2, failure number 3, until you get to failure number 20th, because your 21st attempt is actually going to be a success. I don't know if you are getting a picture that I'm painting. Failure is not always the opposite of success. Sometimes failure is part of the education required to eventually succeed. It's part of the process. You try something, it doesn't work, you learn, you adjust, you try again, you improve. We didn't just learn how to talk in front of the camera, bro. I've been watching content creators and it's funny. But you try, you learn, you fail, you learn, you improve, you try again. Now I don't keep. Before I'll switch. I'll turn on the camera. Before I'll go live, bro. It's gonna take me forever. I'll just be shivering and be looking, bro. Now I just pick the phone and then I go on live. You improve over time. You improve after your failures. You improve. You try again. You will try again. It doesn't work out. You try again. You improve. You realize that you become more capable. After a while, you create content with ease. Like, it won't take you forever anymore. You don't edit forever anymore. You're an editor. You start, your editing fails, your editing doesn't go well, it's gonna take you 3 days. My first video took me 3 days to upload, bro. I had to shoot the video, edit the video. It took me forever. My brain was, and then I uploaded the video and YouTube told me it was copyright. Bro, I wanted to go crazy. But I didn't stop. I deleted the video and I made another one. It didn't stop me, bro. You can become more capable. You become more capable after failures. You become more capable after failures. The person who has never failed may simply be someone who has never tried anything. They have never challenged themselves with anything. Show me any great person who hasn't seen failure. Show me any great person, and I'll show you the scars, what they've seen, the failures that they've experienced. Any great person, once upon a time, experienced failure. So, failure is not the opposite of success, it's part of success. Failure is painful, it can be very painful, bro. But the regret of never trying can last much longer. You can never forget the regret of never trying. I don't know what would have happened to me if I never created a YouTube account. I never would have met incredible people, amazing people like you guys. I never would have met Stormy. I never would have met Spider-Man. These people are amazing people in my life that I cherish so much. It was because of creating a YouTube account, coming on live, that I got to meet these people. I never would have met these guys. Boy, I kind of forgotten their names. Bro, I'm gonna remember. I'm sorry if I can't remember your name, but I still love you guys, man. I remember you guys. The regret of never trying is very dangerous than the fear of failure. Trust me. The fear of failure and the regret of never trying. So don't be afraid of failure. Just go in and go and get that which you want. Go and get it. It is achievable. I'm telling you, it is achievable. Go and get it. It's fear of rejection. Fear of rejection. Rejection is painful. You can't pretend, bro. There is no pretense. I've been rejected multiple times. I've been rejected business. I've been rejected couple of times. But rejection doesn't automatically mean that you're worthless. It doesn't mean that you, bro, that you amount to nothing. Sometimes it means that this wasn't the right fit. The fact that the lady rejected you doesn't mean that you are not handsome, you are ugly, you are not the right guy. It means that you guys are not compatible. You and the lady are not compatible, and when you are not compatible, it won't work. So what then do you do? Try and find somebody that you are compatible with, and the relationship is gonna work. So you need to see it from the other point of view, from a different point of view. Sometimes not now, sometimes not with this person, not under these circumstances. Your worth should not depend entirely on another person's decisions, bro. I don't think your decision is gonna depend on, bro. My worth is gonna depend on the decision of another person, bro. You should know your worth, because I know mine. I know that my price is huge. My release clause is very huge. I'm like which player, bro? My release clause is very huge. My worth is expensive. And the fact that I'm not seeing the fact that you're not seeing those yet doesn't mean that you're worthless. No, bro. You have no idea what is going to happen to your life. If one person says no, it doesn't mean the entire world has said no, guys. Let me drink water. If one person says no, stay with me for a second. If one person says no, it doesn't mean the entire world says no, bro. No. It doesn't mean the entire world says no. So you need to don't turn one rejection to your identity. It's just a rejection, bro. People have been rejected multiple times, but they still keep on going. You've been rejected only once and you want to give up. Don't do that to yourself, bro. The fear of judgment. Many people are afraid of failing, bro. They are afraid of being seen failing. They worry about what people will say. Okay, Michael said he was going to do YouTube, he was going to get 1,000 followers, he was going to get 1 million followers, and up to now, he has not gotten the followers. The YouTube is not working, nothing is working, bro. What? They are going to worry about what people say, bro. I don't care. I said I was gonna do a YouTube channel, and the YouTube is not working. I'm gonna channel the energy into something different. I'm gonna channel that energy into something different, bro. That doesn't mean I don't care what people fear of judgment. I just don't give a damn. I don't want to use curse words, but what will friends think? The same friends that didn't support you when you were starting, and you're afraid of what they will think, bro. To hell with what people think. What will strangers say online? Like this guy that came and then he was saying bullshit in the comment section. In the comment section, what will people say, bro? I'm ready for what anybody's gonna say, man. I'm ready. But here's the uncomfortable truth: people are usually far more focused on their own life than you think. For all you know, people don't think about you like the way you think people are interested in your life, oh, bro. Everybody is busy. Oh. I don't go to bed thinking about another person. I'm thinking about my life. It's my life, bro. And you want me to be, and somebody will be there thinking, what will Michael think? Bro, I don't care about your life, bro. Do whatever you want. I'm thinking about my life 24/7. You don't cross my mind when, bro, not in a disrespectful way, but I mean the focus is on me. It's on how to get better. It's on how to improve. It's on how to succeed. That is the focus, and not another person's achievement, bro. What has that got to do with me? People are focused on their lives more than you think. People are so focused on their lives more than you think. You cannot build an extraordinary life while constantly asking permission from spectators. You can't build. Can you imagine if Thomas Edison, the guy who invented a light bulb, if he had asked people their opinions, that what do you guys think? I'm trying to do this, but it's not working. I've done it about 700 times. I've done it about 998 times. What do you guys think? They're going to tell him to quit. And that is what some of you guys are doing. And then, but he didn't ask anybody. He just did it. I wasn't there whether he asked or not. The only thing that we know in the story is that he tried again and it eventually worked. What if you go again and eventually works? Why don't you go again and see if it will eventually work, and then stop asking people about your life? People will talk when you succeed. People will talk when you fail. Some will talk when you change. Some will talk when you remain the same. You cannot control every opinion. That is why it is called an opinion. It is from people. Opinion. You can't control whether you allow those opinions to control. You can control. What you can do is that you can control whether you allow those opinions to control your decisions. You can't control people's opinions. Let them talk. Let them see. Let people come and talk whatever they want to say. Bro, I'm just focused on my life. There are people that are even afraid of success. But actually, there's not a lot of people that are in this category. Knowingly or unknowingly, some people who are unknowingly afraid of success, but they don't know. They don't know yet. Sometimes people fear success because success is going to create responsibility. A lot of people are going to ask you for money. A lot of people are going to ask you for money. One guy was texting me that he wants to come to the UAE because family responsibility. I told him, bro, if you come here, it won't even stop because there's too much family responsibility. I told him it will get worse when you leave your country. It will get worse. A lot of people, In fact, the people that don't have any, they will start to feel entitled. People will ask you, their responsibility is going to increase. Someone is going to ask themselves, what if I succeed and I can't maintain it? Look at this. What if people expect more from me? What if success changes my relationships? What if I become visible? What if I have to operate at a higher level? You are afraid of success, bro. Then we need to lay you down and then lash you. Sometimes people unconsciously sabotage opportunities because remaining small feels safer. This is very true. People are sabotaging opportunities because when they remain small, they are okay with what they eat, what they drink. Bro, they are okay. They don't want to get more. Nah, bro. I want to get more. I'm not that kind of people. I'm not part of those categories of people. Nah, bro. Fear of change. We're going to talk about fear of change, and then tomorrow we're going to talk about fear of change. Now, the next meeting. Yeah, tomorrow we are not meeting, so fear can become a habit. We're going to talk about that. The fear of losing can prevent you from winning, bro. The fear of losing can prevent you from winning. This is so true. What if you are telling yourself you might lose, you might fail, you might be disappointed? What if your strategy is, I will only act when there is zero possibility of loss? You may never act. The fear of losing can prevent you from winning. The goal isn't reckless behavior. The goal is calculated courage. Calculated courage. Understand the risk, prepare, reduce unnecessary danger, and then decide whether the potential reward justifies the risk, bro. Calculated courage. That is all you should be focusing on. Courage is not the absence of fear. Bro, brave people feel fear. Brave people, sometimes they feel fear. They simply don't automatically obey it. They don't obey the fear that they feel. You can be nervous and still speak. You can be uncertain and still begin. You can be afraid and still apply. You can be uncertain and still begin. I don't know what's going to happen today on my live stream, but I still begin. I still switch on live. Go live and then we're on. You can be afraid and still apply. You can be uncomfortable and still grow. Courage is not I feel nothing. Courage is I feel something, but I refuse to let it completely control me. That is courage. That is what you need to be focusing on. You need to have fear management, not fear elimination. You need to have fear management, not fear elimination. You need to be able to manage your fear. Ask yourself, what am I afraid of? What am I afraid of? What can I do to reduce the risk? What happens if I do nothing? What is the smallest step that I can take? Fear becomes easier to manage when you turn vague anxiety into specific questions. What can I learn? What can I do to improve, to increase my live streams watch hours? What can I do to improve my views? What can I do to get monetized? These are the questions I ask myself every day. Every day. What can I do to get more views? And then I kept on asking, and I started, I'm going to start reaction. What am I going to react on? What am I going to react on? Because I can't react on anything. I'm in the fitness niche, then let me react on gym fields. Let me react on something, that is going to keep people to watch. You need to ask yourself these questions. Fear management. Fear management. So, you need to separate real danger from imagined danger. Some people are only living in imagined dangers. If something presents genuine physical danger, take appropriate cautions. But many fears are about embarrassment, uncertainty, rejection, failure, or discomfort. These are imagined danger. They are not actually real danger. Imagined danger. Are you protecting yourself from danger, or you are protecting yourself from discomfort? That is a question you should ask yourself. You are protecting yourself from danger, or you are protecting yourself from discomfort. People have fear of the unknown. You may not know what happens if you leave that toxic relationship, if you leave that job, that shitty job, that shitty boss. If you leave it, you don't know what is going to happen when you start. You don't know who you will become. Nobody has the complete information about their future. Life requires movement without perfect visibility. You learn by moving, you discover by trying. You are going to gain experience by experiencing. That is what you're going to gain experience. You are going to develop confidence by keeping the promises you set to yourself and surviving situations you once thought you couldn't handle. I'm gonna end it very soon, but fear can keep you loyal to the wrong things. So I'm gonna read. I compiled some quotes. I'm gonna read 5 of them, and then we're gonna end it. All right. Hope that's okay. Yeah, just reading five quotes, and then ending alive. So fear is a seed. What you repeatedly imagine, what you avoid and obey, can eventually become a prison. I love this. Fear is a seed. What you repeatedly imagine, what you avoid, what you obey, can eventually become a prison. Don't let the possibility of failure prevent the possibility of success. Don't let the possibility of failure prevent the possibility of success. Fear can protect your body while simultaneously imprisoning your potential. Fear. It can protect your body. But another thing that it is doing simultaneously is that it is imprisoning your potential. Your potentials are actually caged. You don't have to destroy fear. You have to stop allowing it to drive you, bro. A future you can never pursue can never become the future you experience. I'm sorry about it. A future you can never pursue. Let me end it with this. A future you can never pursue can never become the future you experience. If you don't pursue that future, it is never going to become an experience. I'm sorry. The future you can never pursue is never going to become a future you are going to experience. On this note, I want to thank each and every one, of you guys, one of my subscribers. I love you guys so much. Thank you for staying with me through the thick and thin. I don't take this lightly. I appreciate the support, the like, the loves, the shares, the comments. I love you guys so much. So I'm ending this live, and I have a complete series from episode 1 to episode 6. This is actually episode 6. So I want you to go to the playlist and then start watching from the episode 1. There's also 30 days. There's also emotional intelligence. There's a whole lot of stuff that I've been talking about over the past weeks, and I think if you listen to them, you're gonna actually learn one or two stuff. I actually listen to them, when I'm bored or something. I listen to myself speak sometimes, and I actually I write some stuff down. I'm learning as well. So I'm not only speaking to you guys, I'm also learning, I'm also improving, I'm also developing personally and daily. So I thank you guys so much. I appreciate the support. So I'm gonna save this live, and shout outs to the people that have been watching after the live stream. I love you guys so much. Yeah, I love you guys so much. I'll see you in my next live stream. That'll be in 48 hours, and until then, peace. I'm out.